Let me know. Um, okay, so I think I hit the record button. So we're recording this, so that's beautiful. My name is Jonathan Zabraki. I'm a realtor just like you guys. I've been a realtor for 14 years, and yeah, it's been great. The first year I did a little over I'm just going to mute everybody, but if you want to unmute yourself, please do. Um, but for now, I'm just going to mute everybody. So I've been a realtor for 14 years. My first year, I was in Minnesota. In fact, I've done real estate now in two different markets, Minnesota and San Diego. My first year in Minnesota, 14 years ago, I did a little over 10 million in sales. My second year, a little over 14 million. And basically, my wife told me, she's like, you got to either find a different job or you got to do real estate a different way. Because I was working 90 to 110 hours a week, all the time, feeling quite stressed out and just not having that much fun. And so between my second and third year, I had to create something that was totally different. And I'd been to all the real estate seminars, all the coaches, all that type of stuff, but they didn't really talk about building a easy, lucrative, and fun real estate business. And that third year, I developed this system. I called it Guide to Your Success. And in fact, I got a manual today that I wrote, 12 years ago, Guide to Your Success. And in here is just a way, again, to, instead of having a half business, to have a easy, lucrative, and fun real estate business. And that third year, I did a little over 27 million in sales. I worked probably 55 hours a week, which for me was fantastic. And it was on my way to just making it happen. And since I started in real estate 14 years ago, I've done 376 million of residential real estate closed sales. And I've built a real estate company from scratch. I've hired and trained over 100 realtors on those companies that I started. I sold one of those probably 2.5 years ago. And yeah, I just love what I do. And I started doing this coaching and training for realtors across the nation basically in late February, March of this year in earnest. And I started doing it for a couple of reasons. One is nothing exists out there like this that I'm aware of, meaning a realtor who's actually sold a whole bunch of real estate, medium to high-end real estate, so not these $100,000 properties, but someone who's actually selling high-quality real estate and is willing to teach other people what to do. And my system is extremely simple. It's really basic, and it's a lot of fun. So let's dive into it. There's 3 shifts that have happened that have allowed me to earn a little over $500,000 a year of income or more. L'Oreal's asking, what's my average sales price? Well, last year I did 29.2 million in sales, and I worked with 23 families. So I guess that average sales price is, I don't even know, 1.2 million, 1.3 million. I'm in a market area where the average sales price is about 400,000. So what I teach you is how to basically triple what your average in your market area is. And if that's of interest to you, then yeah, I can definitely help you out with that. So basically, yeah, 3 shifts to making well over $500,000 a year of income without building a big team, without making all kinds of cold calls to FSBOs, expireds, and all that other kind of gibberish, and without spending, $200,000 a year in expenses. Number 1 is my shift was working from anyone to working with premium clients. And I would definitely jot that down. Most realtors, for whatever reason, they just work with anybody and everybody. I, in turn, kind of draw a line in the sand. And it's not just a price point, but it's a mindset of somebody, right? So I only work with a buyer or a seller that actually want to buy or sell. So what happens is I'm not chasing clients, I'm attracting clients. And that's a very different mindset than maybe what you're currently doing. A premium client to me, yes, is a little, they're good in price, but more than that is they're friendly, they're cooperative, they know what they want to buy or sell at market value. Pretty basic stuff, right? Number two is the second small shift that made a massive difference for me was going from a fixed mindset to, I call it, a growth mindset. So a fixed mindset says, up, it is what it is. So there's some realtors I interact with and they're like, well, I made 50,000 my first year, then I made 100 my second, then I made 200 my third, then I made 400 my fourth, then I made 500 my fifth. Okay, that's called a fixed mindset. Because I didn't want to do that. Like basically my third year, I'm like, I want to make $800,000 like now. And that's a growth mindset. So you could make $800,000 in the next 12 months with my system if you desire. If you don't want to, you certainly don't have to. It reminded me too of like one of my neighbors. She just got a job at a college about 7 hours away, right? And she took this job as, I think, assistant chancellor. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking it. I'm not going to see my family for like 2 weeks in a row. And then I come back for a couple of days. And she's going to do that for about 3 years. And her premise of doing that is, hey, it's going to look good on my resume. And eventually, because I'm an assistant chancellor, I can become a regular chancellor. And I mean, she's using terms, I don't even know what a chancellor is, but it's got to be something at a college. And I went to college for 4 years. I graduated. But in residential real estate, it doesn't matter. And the beautiful part about residential real estate is that your longevity means nothing to the public, nothing. So I don't have to build anything on my resume to get people to want to list their homes with me or to purchase homes with me. That's called a growth mindset, right? A fixed mindset says, hey, this is how it is, and I got to build up all these things before I have the privilege to ask these people to work with me. Well, that's kind of hogwash. And then I'd say the third small shift that really helped me break through was trying to do all this on my own or taking little pieces from this coaching program, pieces from this coaching program, take this from my broker, take this from this person here, put it all together, and that's called Frankenstein, right? So I stopped doing that, and instead I said, I got to develop a complete, proven, simple signature system that's just going to give me freedom. And that's basically what I created. One of the easiest ways to get high quality leads at a cost is postcards. So I mail this postcard out, and this postcard goes out to about 10,000 people a month. This postcard does cost me money, cost me about $3,200 to send it out every month. From this postcard, I generate about $60,000 to $64,000 a month in commissions. So most people that are interested in return on investment, ROI, would say, wow, invest 3 to make 60, that's a good deal. So I would recommend you do that. If you don't do that currently, I'd be like, you just don't want money? Or what? With a limited budget, Alex, great question. And unmute yourself with questions too, guys, because I want this to be 100% interactive. So one of the realtors that I coach, his name is Dan McGinnis, he sent his first postcard out, 477 of them. And he sent it out sent out 477, cost him about $300. From that, he got a $600,000 transaction listing. So that's three. So it's about 18,000. So he spent about $400, made about 18,000. So you don't have to send out 10,000 of these. You could send out 500 of these. Who do I send them out to? Basically, I just drove around the area where I live, and some of the chats I can't read. So like if you guys just want to unmute yourself, that'd be simpler for me. I'm a low techie kind of guy anyway. How do I pick where to send the postcard out? I just look at where the nice neighborhoods are. So I don't care about days on market. I don't care about turnover, any of that stuff. That's too complicated for me. I just drive around, and if they look like nice neighborhoods, that's who I want to send them to. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions on that stuff?
What's the system you use to get addresses and to actually mail them out? Do you have a certain software that you like?
No, I don't use any of that. I use EDDM. So it's Every Door Direct Marketing. It's very simple. You just go USPS.com or .gov, I forget which. I type in my zip code, which is 92064. I then just kind of highlight over which of the neighborhoods I'm interested in, and it tells me exactly there's 371 people. I then have my designer create the postcard. She sends it to me. I send it to this company called gotprint.com. They then mail it out. They do everything for me. And that's it. Yeah. Simple.
Hey, Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Oliver. So my business partner and I are sitting here, and some of the stuff that we've read, studies that have been done, different things, suggest that postcards account for such a tiny percentage of new clientele that they're almost not worth it. So what are you doing differently with your postcards, aside from only targeting high-end areas? What are you doing differently that's getting you a lot better results than what most of the studies suggest happens from postcards or mailers?
Yeah, well, the easy question would be, or the easy answer would be, I don't know. I just cash a lot of checks. But I would say, first off, I don't study anything. So I don't study NAR statistics. I don't hang out with other real estate coaches or trainers because they're not going to teach me anything. Most real estate coaches and trainers have never sold real estate, right? So I only want to take advice from somebody who has a bigger pile than I do. Meaning, if I want to be a better dad, I could take advice from any dad in America, but that probably wouldn't be a wise decision because I'd be taking advice from some dads who are maybe in prison, or some advice from dads who, like, their kids don't like them. So what I do is I take advice from dads where, like, I notice their kids come up to them and they give them a big hug, and their kids are teenagers, right? So for those of you who know teenagers, that's not a small feat, right? And so I got 4 kids. And so I want my kids to know that I love them unconditionally no matter what. So I'm going to take advice from people who have a family or a lifestyle that I want. So I guess I don't know whatever the stats are out there. All I know is when I mail this, I get anywhere from 60 to 80,000 a month of checks. And usually it's maybe 1 to 2 transactions a month from it. I think what makes my postcard different, well, it's okay. So most realtors need 3 things. And again, it goes back to that Frankenstein, right? So most realtors are taking advice from 20 different people, and then their business is just a whole bunch of mush. You need 1 complete proven signature system. Then you need the right help. Then you need the right accountability. Without the right help and without the right accountability, nothing's going to happen. right? Just like every single professional sports team has coaches, multiple coaches. Because without those coaches, that team isn't gonna, it's gonna fizzle. So I'd love to say it's just my postcard, but it's really my guide to your success. It's how I interact with that lead on the phone. It's how I do my initial consultation with them. It's how I do my green machine with them, right? It's the fact I'm really focusing on premium people. So it doesn't mean the neighborhood has to be the most expensive neighborhood in the area, because even where I live in San Diego, I'm not selling the most expensive homes in San Diego. The homes I'm selling are nice, but they're definitely not the most expensive. But I'll tell you a little bit about the postcard. I mean, the postcard works because, first off, I got their zip code. So when somebody gets this and they live in 92064, they immediately go, oh, that's to me. Does that make sense? Second off, I got a phone number and an email. That's it. Next, I got a couple pictures of homes and really pretty basic stuff. So I don't have the price of the homes. I don't have how many bedrooms the homes are. I mean, it's like this one says sold near list price. This one says amazing views. And then on the back, this is what it says. And so can you guys read that? Because it's tough for me to read upside down. Can you guys read that or not?
Yeah, we can read it.
Awesome. What does it say? Can someone read it out loud for me, please? All right. Otherwise, I guess I'll read it. It says, thinking of selling your home? Want extraordinary results? Call, my name today at my phone number. We guarantee to sell your house faster, for more money, and with less stress. So, who's going to call off this postcard?
Sellers.
Sellers that want to know the value of their house, or sellers that want to sell their house?
The ones that want to sell the house.
That's it. Simple. Right? So I don't need hundreds of leads in a typical month, and neither do you unless you just want to follow up with people and develop drip campaigns and all that type of stuff. I don't have drip campaigns. I really don't follow up with people. This is my CRM. It's a black, notebook. Well, now it's kind of this color, orangey, because my other one, went out, and it just is person, and that's it. So most of the buyers I interact with are buying a home within 3 to 10 days of the lead coming in. Most of the sellers list with me within 3 to 10 days of the lead coming in. If you're not getting that, I'd recommend you find out how to get my signature system, because it will work for you. So that's the postcard. Huh?
When you send the postcards, are you only marketing for listings and then you get buyers from the listings, or do you market for buyers at all?
I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I just cash the checks.
So you find the postcards are better than Zillow?
Yeah. I've tried everything. You name it, I've tried it. I mean, I'm a realtor just like you guys. It's just the only difference is I've sold $376 million of real estate over the last 14 years. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you the best stuff. And the best stuff is to follow a proven signature system that works.
Do you spend any money on Zillow at all?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I'll look at my numbers. So let's see, for this year, I got to put my glasses down because my eyesight's so for Zillow, I've spent $2,967. So basically $297 a month. And I think what I pay Zillow for is like when I get a listing, I pay some money so that I get the lead off of that listing. But yeah, if I'm going to do internet leads, I'm going to do one kind, realtor.com. That's it. If I'm going to do print media, I'm doing postcards. And I'm doing my 12-page brochure. So when I go on a listing appointment, a person calls off of the postcard or however, they're going to say, what are you going to do for me? Well, I'm going to create a 12-page brochure that basically no other realtor is going to do for you, which no other realtor does do. And then I have 3 performance guarantees for buyers. I have 3 performance guarantees for sellers. But there's 11 different lead categories that I go after that give me more leads than I can physically handle. Because see, I'm only working about 20 to 25 hours a week as a residential realtor. So my goals are, okay, I got to do my 30 million in sales because I like to make about 900,000 a year, but I only want to be working 20 to 25 hours a week. So that's where I just got to go with the stuff that has the highest return on investment. Thus, I don't do any Facebook ads for residential real estate. I don't do any social media. I don't even know if I have a website. Maybe I got a website. Maybe I don't. My buyers and sellers aren't going to the website if I do have one. But yeah, that one strategy alone, just by doing postcards, this will add $250,000 to you. But you got to do it, right? If you don't do it, nothing will happen. But my postcard is so different than all these other postcards you see out there. Because I don't think on my postcard, I'm not telling people how good I am or that I'm number one. This is what it says. Want extraordinary results? Thinking of selling your home? Then call me. That's it. The people who are interested are going to call. The people who aren't, they just tear it up, throw it in their trash, and they go on with their day. Does that make sense? And I'm not getting calls from people that are like, we're thinking of, we want to know the value of our house. Like, I don't get those calls. I don't want those calls. Cool. Any other questions on the postcard stuff? Oh, let's see. Someone's asking, have you found the postcard strategy is area specific? No. So I coach and train 32 realtors now. Let me double check. I coach and train 33 realtors across the nation. And the majority of them do those EDDM postcards. It works. Some of them are in small towns, some are in big towns. Yeah. I think one of the reasons it works is most realtors don't do it. Right? Well, and again, see, I'm not a realtor. I'm a professional real estate consultant. So I want to do stuff that's 180 degrees different than what a traditional realtor does. That is a huge shift. Does that make sense? That will make you a lot of income and garner a lot of friendships for you along the way.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Do you send out the same postcard every month or do you change it up?
Well, so for 2016, I've sent the same postcard out every 2 weeks. Now,
same zip code or different zip codes?
Same zip code, same exact houses, same exact postcard. Doesn't change. Like last I checked, does Nike change their slogan? The shoe company?
Do you change the listings or the homes that are pictured?
I usually don't because again, I only want to be working 20 to 25 hours a week. So I like to play ping pong with my son Connor. I love to go out on dates with my wife Katie. I love to play lacrosse with Grace. I like doing puzzles with Mary. And when Jamie comes home from college, I just want to spend time with her and ask her what's going on in her world. So yeah, it's all about, well, for me, see, I want an easy, lucrative, and fun business. Most realtors have a half business, which is hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating. They put way too much time and effort into stuff that just doesn't matter. Right? So again, it goes back like, I got to make $900,000 a year, but do it as quick as possible. Because I got a life to live. I didn't get into real estate to like have it suck me dry. You know, I got into it because like I got a life to live.
And Jonathan, who did you say designs these postcards?
My designer.
Oh, I have a designer.
Yeah, I got a designer on staff. So like all my coaching clients, they all have that same designer. So like if someone becomes my coaching client, I take care of all of this for them. Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Let's see what else. There's some other
John,
questions. Oh yeah.
how many staff do you have total? What do they do?
0. So the world has changed and the world is now flat, meaning I don't have a single person on payroll. I have a designer that I pay like, money to. I have other people that I pay money to get certain things done, but I don't have any like employees.
Well, how many contractors then do you work with on a regular basis?
3.
Designer and what do the other 2 do?
Kind of take care of paperwork stuff, and then take care of like technology stuff. But the technology stuff is not for my real estate business. That's for my profits and passions business. That's this thing that you guys are on, helping other realtors. So for my residential real estate business, 2 people. And we're talking low amounts. Like I'll tell you my budget this year. So this year I've spent $52,760 in expenses. And my income is a little over 800,000. Because again, I like easy, lucrative, and fun. If it's not easy, if it's not lucrative, if it's not fun, not interested. I don't want to be a traditional realtor anymore. I did that for 2 years. It was brutal. That's why I had to create the signature system, which is totally different. Totally different. So someone is asking, like, what makes it totally different? Well, someone asked, like, do you have people sign a buyer-broker agreement? No, I don't. I give people 3 promises. I say, hey, a promise for a buyer, my performance guarantee. Well, here, I'll give you guys a big bonus. So when I first meet somebody, it's I got to remember it's all about them, right? And I got to deliver value, which means I got to demonstrate value. So for instance, somebody walks into an open house, the way a traditional realtor does it is they go, oh, this house has got 2 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2,100 square feet, all kinds of other like nonsensical knowledge. I, in turn, look at my page 61 on Guide to Your Success, and I go and just go down the list of questions. So I go, hey, welcome to your new home. And this is the first thing I say to somebody. So just like if I get an internet lead, I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a great home. Welcome to your new home. That's different, right? And then I'll say, hey, if it's an open house, I'll say, hey, my name's Jonathan and you are, and they'll tell me your name. And then I'll say, well, what brings you in today? And they go, well, we're just looking. And I'll say, that's awesome. Hey, so what's the best home you've seen today or this week? And they'll say whatever it is. And then I'm going to then say, great, well, take a look around the house. If you have any questions, let me know. And then I go back to the kitchen table and I read the book I'm reading. And that's really different than a traditional realtor. Correct? Or I'm assuming that's differently than how you guys are doing open houses. And then I go find them. And so, I mean, I know their name because I asked them at the door. And then I'll go, hey, Fred, Sally, where are you guys at? And they go, hey, we're in the backyard. And so I'll go to the backyard and I'll say, well, what do you guys think? Do you want to buy the house? And usually they say, nope, I don't want to buy the house. Then I have my fancy CRM, which is my binder. And I flip open to the first blank page and I start going like, awesome. Well, tell me, what are you looking for? And they'll usually start telling me what they're looking for. And then I'll say, wow, okay. And I'll have printed out a piece of paper with the 40 homes around that home, plus or minus a couple miles. And I do this, takes me about 20 minutes before I do the open. And this is just a blank piece of paper, but it's got the 40 homes listed, and I'll say like great neighborhood. Like on this one, I might say cool kitchen, oh, awesome backyard, great play set. And so they're telling me what they want, and then I bring out the piece of paper that shows the homes that fit what they want. So I tell them, wow, have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? What about this one? And most buyers are like, no, no, no. And then I say, well, my open house ends at 1 o'clock today. Let me do this. Let me get these set up for us. We'll take a look at them at 1:30 today. And do you know what a real buyer says? Take a guess.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's that simple. And somebody who's not a real buyer says, no, I don't want to look at homes. And I go, cool, because I want to go play ping pong with Connor, right? It's like I only have time to work with buyers that want to buy and sellers that want to sell. And people say, well, Jonathan, I don't have any listings. Great. This is how you do an open house this weekend. You do an open house this weekend on a $900,000 home by doing this. You pick up your phone. You're going to have to call about 7 realtors in your area. And you go to your MLS, you pull up, the homes that are 900,000, and you give that realtor a call. So I could be dropped into Topeka, Kansas, and I'd be doing an open house this weekend at a $900,000 house. Because I'd say, hey, my name's Jonathan. I'm a realtor just like you. I see that you got this house listed at 123 Main Street. I'd like to do an open house there this Saturday from noon to 2. Does that work for you? And the realtor, most of them are going to say yes. So the people that I coach, they tell me it takes about 10 minutes for them to set up about a $900,000 open house. Now, are there some realtors that are going to say no? Yep. So if I call somebody, I go, hey, my name's Jonathan. I'm a realtor like you. I see that you got this house listed on 123 Main Street. I'd like to do the open from 11 a.m. till 1 this Saturday. Does that work for you? The realtor is going to say no. I'd be, okay, well, great. Is there anybody else in your office who's got a house that's kind of listed like this that would love somebody to do an open house for them? No, I don't have anybody. Okay, bye. That's it. And that might take me 7 minutes, and now I'm going to have a $900,000 open house. And that's why I don't cold call. Like, I don't cold call expireds, FSBOs, or any of that other stuff, because that sounds like work. And then I think you get beat up mentally, like I've heard realtors have told me like calling FSBOs, expireds is not fun. So I take their advice. Everybody here. Wow, that was loud. Okay, if you want to chime in, just unmute yourself. So I got to figure out how to mute. Okay, whew. That was like a wind tunnel. I think I was in Topeka, Kansas. Okay, so I muted all, but if you guys want to unmute, you can. Yeah, so that's what I do. It's pretty simple, huh?
Any particular day that's better? Because, if it's for Saturday, So would like Tuesday or Wednesday make a difference, or they may not have any plans yet?
Well,
It might go pending. They might find somebody else.
so I'm sorry, what's the question? Because I guess
Is there a particular day that's better for those open house calls? Is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or?
no. So I'll show you my clock. This is my clock. That's what time I think it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that solves me from thinking, because I don't want to think. If I was an engineer or a doctor, I'd need to think. But all I do is I just help people buy and sell homes. That requires very little thinking, but it does require a lot of doing, right? And this clock helps me out too. So like if I'm on the phone with a lead and it's going nowhere, my wife would be like, well, Jonathan, we're kind of late for our 2-hour hike. Why don't you hang up on that lead and let's go on our 2-hour hike? Does that make sense? Like I'm not out to convince anybody to do anything. And most realtors are chasing after leads. That's too hard for me. I like attracting the leads towards me. I like being a magnet where people just want to do business with me. But it's this triangle, right? So if you have a piece of paper, I jot this triangle down. And on the left side of the triangle, you'd want to put down attract premium leads. On this side of the triangle, you want to convert those leads into an initial consultation or never see them again. So I'll say that again. Once you get a lead and it's a premium lead, I either want to convert them into an initial consultation or I never want to see them again. That's kind of a line in the sand, right? And then once I meet with them, then the next thing to convert is should they move or should they not move? And then if they should move, then I want them as a client. If they shouldn't move, I tell them, hey guys, you guys shouldn't move, right? You're wanting your $600,000 house to sell for $800,000. I don't have any magical like cape on the back of me. I can't get your $600,000 house sold for $800,000. And vice versa, I can't help you buy a $900,000 house and pay $600,000 for it. It doesn't exist. And then the third part of the triangle, the bottom part, is all about delivering a VIP experience. That is critical. If you're not delivering a VIP experience for your clients, then you're not tripling your business. Does that make sense? So when I say, all I want to do is work with 23 clients a year to make my $900,000 in residential income, right, for buyers and sellers, that really means I need to work with about 8 people. So one person every 45 days. Because when I work with that one person and I deliver them a phenomenal experience, they're going to refer me to more people that are probably just like them, if not better. Let's see, limited budget. Do you think Zillow or Postcards is better? Well, I don't like Zillow. I mean, if I'm going to do internet, all I'm doing is realtor.com. I don't know. I guess I would do both. If you have a limited budget of $500, I'd spend $250 on realtor.com and I'd spend $250 on Postcards. If your limited budget is $200 a month, I'd spend $100 on Postcards and $100 on realtor.com. But if you got a limited budget, you should come to my event because it'll change your world. So, I mean, maybe you guys have signed up for the 3-day event I'm doing in November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. If you have, great. You've already gotten a lot of this material and you're already starting to apply it. But if you haven't signed up for the 3-day event, sign up. It has a 300 to 1 guarantee, meaning it's $1,000 to attend the 3-day event. I guarantee you by the end of the 3rd day, you're going to walk away with a very clear picture of how you can add an additional $300,000 of income to you within 12 months. And if that's something you're interested in, you should come to the event. If that's not something you're interested in, then yeah, probably wouldn't be a good fit. At the 3-day event, I describe exactly what I have done, what I currently do, to have gone from 0 to 376 million. You don't need a database. You don't need to be a realtor for years. You can be a realtor for days and put this stuff into action, and you'll get a result. The moment you sign up for the 3-day event, you're going to get a couple of things. One is you're going to get my guide to your success emailed to you. And that's got the 11 different ways that I go about getting leads and exactly how to get them. You're going to get my initial consultation. You're going to get my buyer presentation, my seller presentation. On top of that, you're going to get bonus calls. There's 4 bonus calls. We've already gone through 1 bonus call before the event, so you'll get that replay. But there's 3 more live bonus calls. They're on Wednesdays at 9:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. It's also recorded. But I go over stuff with you so that you can get a result even before you attend the event. That's my goal. The best result that someone's gotten before attending the event, they had 2 new transactions in the hopper worth about $32,000 of income to them. So that's pretty cool. When you can invest $1,000, come to this 3-day event, learn from somebody who's a realtor just like you, and be on the phone ahead of time before the event, and potentially have 30,000, 32,000 plus of new income before you even attend the event. That's my goal. So yeah, it's got a 300 to 1 guarantee, which nobody has. Nobody. There's no realtor that I'm aware of who says, hey, my system is so good that by the end of the 3rd day, you'll have a very clear picture of how you can add an additional $300,000 of income within 12 months. And if not, you just let me know. I refund you back the $1,000 that you paid to attend the event, and we part as friends. The one thing I want to say is that it's limited to 30 realtors. The reason I do that is because I want you to truly get a result. So I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not a professional motivator. I want to see realtors get results. And I'm so tired of all these real estate coaches and trainers out there telling realtors what to do when they themselves have never sold real estate. I think it's the silliest thing out there. So yeah, it's limited to 30 people. I'd have to check the numbers, but I'm guessing it's probably 2/3 full by now, if not more. And once it hits 30, it's done. I should say this, it's limited to 30 new realtors. So usually about 8 to 15 to 20 of my current coaching clients are there, just because they want more refreshers on the stuff. So yeah, does anybody have any questions on the event and how it works?
So the refresh is free then?
One more time?
Your clients, when they come for a refresher, are they paying again or is it free?
Well, so I have 2 things that I do. One is I do the 3-day event, and right now to attend that event is $998. The next event I do will probably be January or February of 2017. That event will probably be $3,000. I know these events sell out. And so I just can't do it for $998 anymore. So it'll at least go up to $2,000, but probably $3,000. That's one thing that I do. The second thing that I do, Alex, is I do private coaching for realtors, where I meet with them 104 times in a typical year. And those people who are in that, they can come to these 3-day events at zero cost.
Okay.
Yeah. Great question. The event is designed for someone who's basically sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're like, I've got to create a more easy, lucrative, and fun way of doing real estate. And I say, kudos, great, then come, because that's exactly what I've discovered, 11 years ago when I created the signature system. And it's a signature system that I use to this day. Someone was asking, how do you sign up? Okay, so you sign up at profitsandpassions.com. So PROFITS and AND passions.com. Profitsandpassions.com. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions on that event? Let's see. L'Oreal asks, I'm not in a position to go to the event. Can you get the same results as your client for coaching? Yeah. So I have, I think it's Angie Hammond. She's signed up for my private coaching. That's where we meet 104 times in a typical year. And she's going to be, her first event is going to be actually November 29th, 30th, and the 1st. It's not necessary that you attend the event first, although it's definitely helpful. My coaching is, it's by application. So if you're interested, text me your contact information. I'll get back to you, or you can call me on my cell phone, or you can go again to that website, profitsandpassions.com. And on there, there'll be some information on it. I'll give you my phone number. It's 858-212-1245. Someone was asking earlier, like, hey, how much staff do you have? I mean, I got 0 staff. So like when you call, you're going to ring my cell phone. I only have one cell phone. I don't have an office phone. And it's 858-212-1245. And the reason I give that out is I want to help you guys out. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not a motivator. You're not going to come and hang out with me and get really charged up and then just, a week later do nothing. That's horrible. So I told you about the guarantee for the 3-day event. I'll tell you about the guarantee for my coaching. So my coaching, I guarantee people that within 90 days, you're going to have a 5-to-1 return, meaning the amount you invest into coaching, you're going to have a 5 times return on that by the end of that 90-day period. Now that might not be closed sales. That might be stuff that's pending. That might be buyers in the hopper. That might be like listings in the hopper. It's a 5-to-1 return. And again, I don't know anybody that does that. So awesome. I would highly recommend you take advantage of this. I do 2 things currently. I do residential real estate, and then I do this coaching and training. And once I hit 52 clients that I'm personally coaching and training, I'm done, right? So I'm at a certain capacity. And right now, like I say, I'm at 33 coaching clients. Been doing this since March of this year. Someone was asking me results. Well, I mean, results can definitely vary. If you become a coaching client, you're going to do the work and you are going to get a result. Does that make sense? So I don't take on people that don't want to actually put the system into action. That's why I call it the green machine. Like, the machine works, you just got to turn the crank. But if you don't want to turn the crank, the machine is not going to work, right? One of my clients, Jenny, she's been a realtor for 4 months, like licensed for 4 months. She interacted with me 3 months ago, and she became one of my coaching clients before coming to the 3-day event. Then she came to the 3-day event like a month ago. Again, she's been a realtor for 4 months. She's been working with me for 3 months. The last 2 months, she's been earning a little over $100,000 of income a month. Now, Ginny is an overachiever. She is turning this machine at a very fast rate, right? Most people don't get that kind of a result, but I would say most people, well, okay, Nicole. Nicole is from Florida. She's used to dealing in the $100,000 to $200,000 range prices. She did 2 open houses the way I recommend that people do them this last Saturday and Sunday. Today is Tuesday. I've been working with her for 2.5 weeks. From those 2 open houses, she said she'll earn about $34,000 of commissions. I'm like, sweet. She's like, well, the best part about it, she's like, I'm just going to continue to turn that machine. And every week I'll do more of this stuff. I'll get better and better. That's like $100,000 a month. I said, yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it? And even if that $100,000 a month doesn't happen and people fall out, that's okay, because you're still going to be probably in that $30,000 to $50,000 a month range. So, yeah, the stuff works, which is why I can have those guarantees. You just got to ask yourself, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired, trying to piecemeal all these things together from this coach here, that coach here, my broker, my brother, my sister, my aunt? And are you like, I just want to follow one complete, proven signature system? And if that's you, then yeah, reach out to me. My cell phone's 858-212-1245. Go to profitsandpassions.com. Sign up for the 3-day event. You can read more about my private coaching on there as well. Yeah, it's any questions? We got like 5 more minutes, then I got to skedaddle because I still got to vote today. My wife and I are going on a lunch date and a lunch date voting date. So,
Hey, Jonathan, I typed the question, but are referrals, postcards, the internet, or open houses your greatest lead source? Do you track where the vast majority of your leads come from, or if it's an even split amongst the different sources?
My greatest lead source probably comes from my Elite 25. And my Elite 25 comes from my Ultimate 200. And my Ultimate 200 comes from my people that already know me, like me, trust me. But I could get dropped into Topeka, Kansas, where I don't know anybody, and within 10 days, I'll have 200 people that know me, like me, trust me. And that's what I teach at the 3-day event. And that's what I teach on the private coaching as well. So there's people that I've coached that got dropped into a brand new market, and within weeks, they're doing a great amount of business. There's a dialogue on my Guide to Your Success. I think it's page 49, 50, and 51. And this is what, so page 49, page 50, page 51. These are the dialogues I use for connecting with my Ultimate 200. Page 57, this is the dialogues I use when connecting with leads. And this is all stuff you get, like when you sign up for the 3-day event, you get this stuff within minutes. And then on top of that, we get to hang out for 3 bonus calls before the event, so I can really help you apply this stuff and put it into action. But then my Elite 25 is probably my biggest thing. And my Elite 25, this is where I'm hanging out with 25 friends once a month. It's really basic. Realtors don't do it. Instead, they're chasing internet leads. And I don't chase internet leads. I just hang out with my friends once a month. And I take them to the fish taco place, and we hang out and talk about life for 2 hours. Next month, I take them to the Padres game. Next month, I have them over to the house for a barbecue where I burn the hamburgers by accident, and then we end up ordering pizza. And the next month, we go to the lake and we feed the ducks with our kids. Next month, as we go skiing. Next month is, does that make sense? Realtors don't do that. But because, so the whole real estate industry is really messed up. It's really messed up. And I don't have time to get into it, but it's run by people who own brokerage companies who've never sold real estate. And then you got realtors who are constantly chasing shiny objects. And it's like, get really systematic, really follow one complete proven system that works. Oh, here's Lynn. So Lynn's one of my newer clients, probably as of about a month ago. So as one of my coaching clients, you get my cell phone, you call me anytime, anywhere, anyhow. And usually it only takes about 3 minutes to get somebody unstuck. Does that make sense? Like if we had the opportunity, well, imagine this, if we could hang out for 3 solid days, do you think that would help you out? And if so, you got to sign up for the 3-day event. And then if you're like really ready to take your business to the next level and you're like, hey, I want to hang out with you, Jonathan, 104 times in a typical year, then get onto the website Profits and Passions and sign up for the coaching, where there'll be an application that you'll fill out, or you can call or text me at 858-212-1245. And let's do life together. So awesome. Okay, it is noon. So any last quick questions you guys got? Maybe you got to unmute yourself. I'm not sure. I think I muted everybody. I am not a techie guy. So if you're looking for high tech, like ninja tactics, overcome objections, you and I aren't gonna get along. If you like to deal with humans and you think life is like full of awesome experiences, then yeah, we're gonna get along. But I'm not smart enough to have 29 different objection handling questions for people. All right. Well, awesome. Have a great day. I got to go get some lunch. Maybe you guys got to get some lunch too. I'd love to see you in San Diego, November 29th, 30th, and the 1st of December. Reach out to me if you have any questions. See you, rock stars.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.